when the Chiefs have the ball going against this Jaguars defense, that has been one of the best defenses in the NFL so far, kind of carried by some turnovers, but there's been some very much realness to it. Trayvon Walker is now injured, though, which must be stated because he was playing very well. What do you think? How do you think they match up against this Chiefs offense that kind of found its way a little bit last week?
Yeah, Trayvon Walker, he got surgery today, and I guess he's one of those dudes that's built different. Apparently he's day-to-day, but it looks like he's going to be out this week.
After surgery.
After surgery, I'm day-to-day. I'm day-to-day. I'll be all right. But that is a big that's a big loss for them, especially against the run. Because man, like I know he didn't play too many snaps this week against the 49ers, but Trayvon Walker versus Colt McKivitz in the run game was just it was an abomination. Like he destroyed. McKivitz, like, by the way. Yeah, I every game I watch, I can't believe that. But he made him look like a tight end. Like it was just ragdolling a tight end out there every single play against the run. So to not have that like collapsing one side of the offensive line and keep you steady in terms of setting the edge, it's going to be tough. But still, the whole defense has been really good in terms of stopping the run. I think that I think that they should give Kansas City still some fits as far as them trying to establish their running game goes. Kansas City is, it's weird because they're 11th in EPA per rush, right? But when you kind of filter it out for first and second down, first, third, and fourth down, almost all of that positive production is coming on like third and fourth and short runs by Kareem Hunt. He's one of the worst running backs in the league on first and second down, but is doing just enough on third and fourth down where he has positive EPA numbers for the season. They're not explosive. It's kind of like the same thing as last year. However, Jacksonville on the other side, first in rushing success rate, first in 10 yards, rushes that go for 10 yards or more, first explosive rush rate, second in first downs per rush, fourth in yards after contact per rush. So this has been a defense just kind of beating teams up front. And I think even without Trayvon Walker, they can give Kansas City a game up front, kind of put the ball in the hands of Patrick Mahomes more, which is going to be tough because he is Patrick Mahomes and he's been awesome this year. And we saw last week that he can still take advantage of some good situations. But I still think that Jacksonville's defense gives them some problems up front and kind of makes Mahomes have to play a little bit more hero ball than he did last week against Baltimore.
Yeah, the Jags defense, they're playing confident. Like Devin Lloyd, looks like a totally different player than he's looked like.
I don't know what happened to him, man.
It's insane. Even outside the turnover plays, it's just other plays I'm talking about too. It's like, he's in the game better. Like the calls are going right. Like you can just see everything kind of clicking for him. It's kind of cool. I mentioned Jordan Lewis, who's playing truly, and I'm not even doing a bit here, playing like a Pro Bowler this year. They have these guys that are actually just everyone's just kind of making a play. Haven't even mentioned their number 2 overall pick. That's how good these other guys are kind of playing. Yes, it's been turnover dependent, but there's more real to it. Like I just think that these guys are just playing fast and not making the mistakes that have killed them in the past. And going against the Chiefs team, they're trying to give Rashad Smith more touches, a little bit more team speed there. Going against they got Xavier Worthy back, and you felt it. You actually finally saw some explosive passes connecting, which is what this offense needs. It's just kind of one of these things where both teams prove it. Do it again. Do it for another week. I feel much better about where the Chiefs are at. Again, I got to kind of reiterate, I wrote about the Chiefs, Ravens, and Texans last week, and after I reviewed them all, I'm like, of these 3, Chiefs are the ones that are going to figure it out. It's not just because of the past, but it's like just of the bones they had and what they do have and what's going to come. But it was nice to at least see going against the Jags team. Just curious what they cook up. They're at home. It's going to be kind of could be a statement game for them that they've arrived, but they've kind of shot themselves in the foot when they've had these moments before. I'm just trying to think.
A little bit.
I think, yeah, just a little bit. That Bengals game from 2 years ago was just burned into my brain. But I think the Chiefs rookies, Josh Simmons has been playing well. Kingsley Suamataia has stacked together his 2 best weeks as a pro, back-to-back weeks. So like that's coming together. It's like, man, can you just get some juice in your run game? I think that would just make everything feel so much better because I think the passing game's getting there. I know. I know.
I don't get how they ran this running back room just right back. Like, come on now.
They love their own They want their own narratives. Oh, we found the 7th round Isaiah Pacheco, and that's our guy because he was the Super Bowl runner, most rushing yards in that game. And it's like, you gotta realize what else you had that made that happen. I know you don't have to say like draft a running back. I know you drafted CH in the 1st round. Can you imagine Jonathan Taylor in this offense? But I get all that stuff, but like 3rd round's fine, 4th round's fine. You can take a guy. You don't need Kareem Hunt coming back. Like there's zero reason Kareem Hunt has to be on this roster. There's zero reason, zero possible argument for it. So hopefully Brashard Smith gives them a little bit because that's what this team needs desperately. But I am seeing the passing game get sorted out a little bit. There's some good signs happening with the Chiefs offense. This will be a fun one. All right, moving on to the other side of the ball. Jags O, Chiefs defense. What do you think about this one?
If I'm Jacksonville, I am going to play this game like as big as possible and just mash it down their throats. Because I still think that, we talk about Kansas City's defensive backs, and certainly they need an infusion of talent there. I mocked them a cornerback in our mock draft this week in the 1st round, but I still don't love I guess the idea of where this Jaguars passing game is, and it's still a little discombobulated as BTJ and Travis Hunter and Trevor try to all get on the same page. I don't think you want those guys dropping back a ton versus Spags, even with the Chiefs defense in that personnel state, just because that's a tough guy to game plan for. So I would just try to keep us ahead of the sticks as much as possible. And I found some interesting stats from their 12 personnel runs for Kansas City's defense and Jacksonville's offense. So Jacksonville has run the 11th most runs out of 12 personnel with 37 runs. We've got 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6.7 yards per carry, 50% success rate, and they're averaging 0.24 EPA per rush on those plays. So it's not even just one big rush. It's you're getting big chunks kind of consistently. When you see 50% success rate, you're doing something well. And on the flip side, Kansas City has been absolutely awful when teams go big and run against them. They're giving up 41 carries for 231 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5.6 yards per carry, 55% success rate, and 0.23 EPA per carry. So I think if you're going to keep the heat off of Trevor Lawrence in this game, you should just keep handing the ball off to the much new and improved Travis Etienne and an offensive line that's a lot more competent than it was last year, and just try to mash them off their spot and keep yourself in those 3rd and short situations.
You nailed it. That's exactly what I'm looking at too. Keep Spags simple. So go heavy, which means 2 tight ends, because even if you don't have the burliest tight ends, Spags will match. That's just what he does. Yeah. He'll match with base. With his base personnel. And I looked at the exact same stats. I went 2 or fewer receivers just to kind of cover it all. Same exact thing though. They're 1st in rushing success rate. They're 3rd overall in success rate, 3rd in yards per run, all that stuff. And then the Chiefs defense, this is what the Ravens were kind of getting at, but then just the game script got away from them. Yeah, but they're 31st in rushing success rate allowed on early downs against 2 or fewer receivers. Just I always talk about natural answers. That's as natural as it gets. We do this and they're bad against this. Do it. That's very easy. And I keep complimenting Liam Cohen and what their offense is doing, just the whole offensive staff. The run game, the offensive line for the Jags, I keep reiterating this and I sound such a hater. It's not good, but it's so improved and it's sound and they use the right runs for it. And one of those is a lot of side-to-side stuff. A lot of, if we are running up the middle, we'll have a polar as opposed to just duo and just try and burly it up. They did do a little duo against 49ers last week, which is pretty good. But going against Chris Jones, you want Chris Jones moving side to side. You don't want Chris Jones teeing off on you guys. Chris Jones has been unblockable in the run game this year. Actually, I know I just mentioned these run stats, but it's because other stuff's happening. But he's just truly one-on-one. He wins. And so, okay, we know that. We have a lot of team speed. We have ETN. We have Tootin. All right, let's go side to side. Let's go side to side. Let's get these guys running left to right. Let's get these big burly linebackers running left to right. Let's throw out of this with Brent Strange against these linebackers, these running backs against these linebackers. Again, natural answers that make sense. I will say that the one thing that is curious to me is Spags. This isn't a true Shanahan offense, but he kind of tees off on Shanahan offenses because those condensed splits, that's where he can do some funky corner blitz looks and everything. So that's what you're hoping is, if we get him in base, The blitzing won't be as exotic. That won't be as crazy. But if you get those tight splits with the receivers, that's where a corner comes. That's where something crazy comes at the snap of the ball. And the Jags use condensed splits at the condensed formations at the 6th highest rate in the NFL. So that's like one little thing I'm kind of curious on, because he's kind of had that number on zone teams and outside and those condensed split types of teams. But I do think the Jags are they're pretty well coached right now. I know they have a ton of penalties, but that's because they're trying to do so much motion, trying to do so much cadence stuff, trying to do so much communication, and that's in a good way that I think it gets sorted out. But man, the scheme makes sense. The concepts make sense. Brian Thomas Jr. All right, you don't want to run over the middle. All right, we're running nothing but out routes. That's all we're targeting for you is out route, because you're not going to run over the middle. That's just good coaching. We're going to not make you do something you're not going to do. And then the last thing too is kind of I'm very curious to see how Trevor Lawrence does against the blitz as well. Like I do think one of the strengths of this game is he does read the game well. Sometimes he assumes some things and gets caught. So like going against the Texans, like when they brought blitzes, I bring up that play to Brian Thomas Jr. that kind of sealed the game for him, checked into a look, fully changed the protection against cover 0. Maybe get to see a couple of that where you get to see his communication, see him get rid of the ball, which is why he throws to his first read all the time, whatever that stupid stat is. It's because he knows where to go with the ball. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, which is so infuriating for me. Fun little styles makes fights battle here. Chiefs defense, Spags knows he kind of really doesn't have the horses, so he's getting really funky with his pressure looks, like really funky, which is kind of fun to rewatch. So curious to see kind of how both teams answer the bell here. Pretty fun matchup. I know. Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites on the road in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You're sweet home Alabama after the third quarter. You think you're going to survive that, Kansas City Chiefs?
I think
I might be the only national guy that actually knows that.
I think the Chiefs win, but the Jaguars cover. Get some fourth quarter last drive dramatics that end in a field goal for the Chiefs to get you under the cover, but still win.
I'm copying it all the way here. We're unlocked up. Because I do think that this would be a good game. I think both teams are going to be in it the whole time. I think the Chiefs do pull it out in the end, but I like where the Jags are at. I wish Walker was playing. That would make me a little bit more. I'm going to bet on this. I know Walker isn't going to be like a 5-point swing on the play, but he does matter in this type of matchup. So, but no, I'm really curious. The Jags have some speed and they're doing some cool things, but I do think that Chiefs they found their way last week. I know the Ravens are a bit of a mouthwash team right now, but I do think that they were doing some good things on review.